Hi everybody, welcome to Deb's Way. I'm glad to have you here. I'm Deb, and you are here with me as I'm enjoying another hashtag Tea Tuesday. And yes, I'm having iced tea. What I did was I brewed some hot tea, one of my favorite teas, and then I just added some ice to it, a little bit of sweetener, not much because it's got a lot of spices in it to sweeten it up. And I'm enjoying it as a cold tea. Yeah, this is my favorite tea. And my friend Jeannie from Leadmetopeace Jeanie, and I will put her link down below for you to check out. But she told me the other day that Publix, our grocery store, was having a special on our Bengal Spice Tea here. I always call it Bengal Tiger Spice or something like that because it's got the tiger in the box. But this tea, it was very popular for several years, and then they took it off the market for a while because they always introduce new teas, and so they kind of discontinue one. Well, there must have been a public outcry for this one because they brought it back. I've always liked it. It is there's so many wonderful spices in it. And it even says it's an herbal tea, caffeine, well, I think most of theirs are, but anyway, caffeine free. I think most of theirs are too. It has cinnamon, ginger, cardamom, cloves. It's a very nice blend, and I do like it either hot or cold. So at Publix, that was a buy one, get one. So I only got 2 boxes, but the BOGO lasts until, well, Wednesday is the last day. I was thinking it was longer than that, but I might be going back to the store tomorrow to get a couple more boxes, but also because when we were at the store today, yeah, we just went today, I forgot to look at the chicken. I was gonna, get some, chicken, and I totally forgot to look at it. I do want to go back and check for that because I'm afraid prices are going to go sky high. I did look at the meats. We did not need hamburger or anything like that this time. Hamburger was on sale, but I did not get any. I did look at the roasts, and I was telling William about this on the way home. I looked at the roast. I don't know what kind exactly it was, just a roast. One of them, they had 2 roasts in the counter. One was $45 and some cents, and the other was $53 and some cents. And I just thought, oh my goodness, they weren't humongous either. They were not big. That is the price of this sort of thing today. Prices are going up, and I did notice at the store there were a lot of empty shelves. It reminded me a lot of what happened during the pandemic, but a little worse. And maybe that's because during the pandemic, the store's warehouses still were supplied up pretty good in the beginning, but there were huge gaps on the shelves, huge empty spaces, and I couldn't find a few things that we normally do get. So it did affect us this week, and I just think it's about to get worse with this. The truckers going on kind of a strike in a way, and our protest or strike, whatever it is, and it's going to affect everything. All of our daily needs, will be affected. And so if you haven't started to build up a little bit of supply, especially of food stuff, personal needs, medicines, now's the time to do it. Get started. It's never too late to start, but get started at doing something to protect yourself from any, real big shortages coming up in the near future. You just have to do as much as you can. Anyway, I'm sure that a lot of people are harping on that, and I don't mean harping really, because it's important that everybody know that these are critical times right now. I just can't believe it seems like it gets worse and worse and worse. And for a few years back, it was going pretty good. But anyway, I digress and talk about politics, and I don't want to do that. So, what else is going on today? Hang on just a minute here. Yeah. Okay. Well, it is a chilly day here. That's why I'm wearing this is a mukluk, is that what it is, top? It's very, very warm. I can only wear it on really cold days down here because it's just so warm. It's velour. I love the material. I love the colors. It's just a lounging outfit. No, it's not pajamas, but it's just to, lounge around the house in like sweats in a way. But sometimes I get so warm when I wear this, even if it is a cold day, I have to change because it's just too, it gets too warm and uncomfortable then. But anyway, I'm feeling pretty good right now with this on, and still a little chilled actually. So what else is going on around here? Well, we did go to the store this morning. That's kind of our Tuesday run, a little errand run. We did some grocery shopping and stocking up and building up the freezers. And we had lunch first. We stopped for lunch at Tijuana Flats, and I'm going to show that here.
What are we going to eat? It's cold.
Tijuana Flats. Here we go. This is the inside of Tijuana Flats. We're already eating, and I forgot to start filming what we got. William's got a beef burrito. How's it, William?
Not bad.
No?
No, it's not bad.
I got this is a chicken quesadilla with cheese. That's pretty good. And we also split 2 tacos, soft shell tacos, that were pretty good. I forgot to film earlier, so you missed the tacos, but they were very good. Flour tortillas. Oh, here. I'm going to show you what he's got in his burrito. It looks like it's full of meat.
A lot.
Uh-huh. Good. But yeah, there's a Tijuana Flats in the area where we go grocery shopping, so we just decided to go in there for a quick lunch, and it was pretty good. And then we went to do our grocery shopping and spent, it was about $163, and we really didn't buy a lot of meat. We did get some, but pork loin was on sale for $4.99 a pound, so I got 2 packages of 2. Well, for us, those pork loins are so big, and they come in, 2 segments for 1. So there's like 2 big pork loins in a package. We split them up between us. So that actually will make 4 different meals for us. Pretty cheap. I just put a bunch of veggies with it, and that's plenty. So we've got that. I forgot to look at the chicken, so I will go back and take a look at that. And chicken went pretty fast this last time around here because Ginger started eating it. So before I used to bake up 2 chicken breasts for William and I. Well, now I kind of do 3, you know, 1 for Ginger too, because she was eating it. Okay, so other than the grocery shopping today, well, not too much is happening. I'm kind of relaxing. It's late afternoon now, trying to figure out what to fix for dinner. I have no idea. And it's funny, okay, you know, you go grocery shopping and you buy all the supplies and everything, but yet when it comes down to supper time, I just sometimes do not have any idea or ambition to cook, you know. But William will come up with an idea and we'll get going on that here real soon. Until then, well, I'm going to show you a little video that I filmed on the weekend. Yes, I did. Back in the sewing room. That's where I was. And keep in mind, this was on the weekend. I almost did not show this because, well, on the weekend, you know, you just kind of let it all hang out. My hair was kind of in bad shape. And if I had makeup on, it was very limited. But I thought, you know what? What the heck? That's me. So here is a little sewing video right here. Well, you're back in my sewing room today. It is Super Bowl Sunday. It's kind of a dreary, rainy day here in Central Florida. So I decided to work on this. I think you can see it pretty much, you know, for the most part. So what I'm going to do is take it down here off the shelving unit and fold it in half, and then fold it in half again and get it cut apart. Let me get it on the cutting table here. Okay, I think I'll go this way first. No particular reason, just that's the way I want to do it. And unfortunately, I don't have a cutting table that has a cutting mat that covers the whole table. I have a little cutting mat, but we'll make do with it. It's kind of scary to think I'm going to be slicing into this. It really is. But I've seen it done and I think I can do it too. Okay. So I've got it full. Here, I'm going to bring you over so you can see what I've done here on the table. I'll point you down. There. Better view. I've got it smoothed down here on the table and I'm going to fold it in half. It's in half right now. I'm going to fold it in half again. Okay. And going to smooth it out. Because where I'm going to cut is along the folds here and here. Let me get it turned around here and work with it some more. I just am so nervous about cutting it. Okay, let me get on the cutting mat. And yes, for those of you who aren't aware of it, you do want a cutting mat down on your cutting table so that you keep your cutting table nice. The cutting mat will take all the slices. And let me just make sure here. Okay. And carefully slide the cutting mat down. And cut some more. And I'm going to turn it this way and work on this fold. Doing the same thing. Okay. Yes, I may have little tags here that I need to separate, but that's okay. I don't mind that. Let me get my scissors. Actually, it's just barely on a corner. There. Like hanging on by a thread. Now that one I may have to cut a little bit more, but that's okay. I'm all right with that. I mean, when you're just trying to barely take any material off. Well, there's one square. Now here's the next one. You can easily come up with corners that hang on. Yeah. Fortunately, I did crease the material a little bit so I can tell where I'm at. So there's two squares. And now to divide this one up. It barely got cut. But I know where the line is, so I'm just going to carefully go down that line. All right. Now let me put this back up on the wall and I'll bring it back. This is the way that it's originally set up. You can kind of tell these are loose. That's where I've cut it apart. So, this is where the fun begins. Twisting it around to how you want it to be. Like I'm going to take this piece right here. Hang on. And I'm going to flip it. It was this way, but I'm going to flip it around this way. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take my bottom piece here, which went like this. I'm going to flip it around too. So it turns out like this. This is the way that it's originally set up. You can kind of tell these are loose. That's where I've cut it apart. So this is where the fun begins. Twisting it around to how you want it to be. Like I'm going to take this piece right here. Hang on. And I'm going to flip it. It was this way, but I'm going to flip it around this way. And then the next thing I'm going to do is take my bottom piece here, which went like this. I'm going to flip it around too. So it turns out like this. This is what I'm going to work with. I'm going to sew it together, and I'll bring you back when I have it all together. But this is how it's going to turn out. I hope you can kind of tell how it is, how I switch things around. I flipped this one and the bottom one, the opposite corner, so that the small purple block that was cut in half is in each corner now. These two stayed the same. So let me pull this off and put it together. Yeah, but this is going to be finished as when I finish sewing these 4 blocks together, my quilt top is complete. I still need to add the batting and the backing. I haven't bought the backing yet, but I will. But also sew it together. And what I'm going to do is the same thing that April did in her video, and I will also link her channel below. Again, April's Story, wonderful quilting channel. She's a great teacher. She explains what she's doing. She explains when she makes a mistake, which I love because I make mistakes. But anyway, what we're going to do on this quilt is what you call it, straight line quilting. I'm just going to go along the seam of each block here, like 1/4 of an inch on each side of that seam, and do some straight line sewing. That's how I'm going to put it together. But I'm going to be doing the quilting job myself, okay, on my machine. So let me pull this off the wall and get it sewn together, and I'll bring you back. Okay, so we're going to sew the blocks all together. And the seam is 1/4 of an inch all the way along. So let me get it going. So the top is finished, it's together. I'm going to continue on, pull off all my extra threads here, and put the bottom piece together and then the bottom and top together, and I'll bring it back when I've got it on the display board again and show you what it looks like all together. Now when you're putting the top and the bottom together, you do want to match the center seam. You've got the seam on blocks on the top and the bottom. You want to match that. And I usually have one seam going one direction, just finger pressed right now, and the other going the opposite direction so that they just kind of butt up against each other and kind of lock together. But I also pin it just to make sure. Okay. My quilt top is finished. All sewn together. All ready to have the backing put on and the batting in between and get it quilted up. That will be another step. But for right now, the quilt top is done. And for those of you who are watching that are new to sewing in a way, I know it looks a little cockeyed here, but that's only because of the way that it's hanging on my well, storage shelves. I've got it clothes pinned up there. But it turned out really decent, actually. For those of you who are new to sewing out there, this is one of the easiest quilts to start with. Like I said, it was just 9 fat quarters, and you sew them all together the way that you want to, in the arrangement you want to, and then you're gonna slash it apart and sew it back together again. And just to show you here on this end, that's part of the pole here that's showing through. I don't have a very good display board here to show you what the quilt looks like when it's all done, so it's kind of crooked, and not that it's sewn crooked, but that it's displayed crooked here the best way that I can with what I've got. But it turned out really nice. I'm pleased with it, and I'm going to finish it up. And I may take you along for the further steps on this. But that's it for today. So I hope you enjoyed that. Yes, that quilt top is complete. Well, actually, not totally complete, because I do want to put a border or 2 borders on it, and then the top will be actually totally complete. I decided to put borders on after the fact. I'm just used to that, so I'm going to do that. But anyway, I hope you're all doing good out there. You take care. I'll be talking to you again real soon, but for this time, it's going to be bye for now. Happy Tea Tuesday.